Well, folks, here we again for the weekly forecast. Of course, during this last week, the major news was the precipitation that once again invaded the Central Plains and led to some significant planting delay issues. We basically had to wait for most of the week of warm, dry weather for us to be able to get enough drying for farmers to get out into the fields and start getting some of the late planting taken care of. Unfortunately, we have yet another system that's poised to move out into the central United States and is going to lead to some more significant delays. The big question is, as we see this system pass to the east of us, will we continue to see systems moving in a northwest flow through our region that would lead to further delays, or will we see a period where there will be ample enough drying that we can get producers out in the field and get caught up on some of the field work? So let's take a look at the upper air miles and see what we have in store. Here is our upper air low that is expected to move its way into the Central Plains. Once again, slow but sure, it'll grind its way eastward. So we should start to see precipitation breaking out across the western one half of the state during the day, with the best odds across the Panhandle, and further as you move further east, less odds that we will see precipitation, at least today. But as we go through the overnight hours, we'll start to see some of that moisture spreading eastward, and as we go into tomorrow, what we are going to notice is that upper air low starts to get organized and start to pull up some good Gulf moisture at the surface, and that should generate some thunderstorm activity starting in central Nebraska and then pushing eastward into eastern Nebraska during the overnight hours, and then that will continue on through Monday as the core of this upper air low sits over eastern Nebraska. Right now, quantitative precipitation forecast for this storm system is putting anywhere from 1 to upwards of 3 inches of rainfall over a broad section of eastern Nebraska. We could see some isolated totals depending on how much thunderstorm activity goes, and they could be greater than 3 inches, but for the most part it looks like a widespread coverage area. We're going to need a few days of drying, and here's the major concern. As this system passes up into the Great Lakes and weakens, we have another system that's going to try to drop toward the southeast, so we may get a temporary halt in the precipitation as we get into late Tuesday and into the first half of Wednesday before this system starts to make its way into our region. So here we are on Wednesday. We start to see it moving into the northern plains, pushing that frontal boundary through, so we'll see precipitation breaking out at least in the western half of the state, and some of that will pass through eastern Nebraska during the overnight hours. And as we get into Thursday, now we've got this northwest flow aloft, so any energy pivoting around this upper low may give us daily chances of shower activity, particularly over eastern Nebraska, where we will be in the deeper moisture fetch. In western Nebraska, we should start to see some drying conditions. And as we get into Friday, here we have that northwest flow, so it looks like we may have a respite for a day or two as this trough starts to push to the east, but behind it is yet another system that's expected to move in around the 15th of the month, and depending on models, will move anywhere from the 15th to the 17th into the Central Plains. And once again, the models are predicting a very significant precipitation outbreak. So as we look at the 8 to 14 day forecast from next Thursday to the following Tuesday, we see with the resulting precipitation, we'll see below normal temperatures, and in terms of total precipitation, a broad area of above normal moisture across the entire Corn Belt.